Uh, dying. No dying. No dying allowed. Depatching definitely allowed though. Necessary. Kind of forgot that I had a ginormous thing set up here. This is not fun to watch. This is not fun to do either. All right. Well. Okay. That guy's in the race. So's that guy. Cables all over the place. Madness. Yeah, shorter stream tonight. I thought I would at least put in an appearance and play with the 100 grit for a little bit. See? Just doing some simple patches and more of a practice session, if anything, because I do want to kind of dig into a couple of the things that are relatively new. Don't totally super well. Like the FX aid, that would be a good candidate. Kind of play around a little bit with the programs that I have loaded in there, and you know, that whole effects experimentation jam. There, and then you get rid of my don't stop headphone cable because you're screwing everything up. This was a weird voice in the last one. This weird like overdriven 100 grit filter into an overdriven Ikari filter, just overdrive everywhere and terrifying feedback blobs, and it was kind of cool. It's pretty sweet. So the potential for mayhem from that filter is pretty high, strong, very strong. Purple guys, two more, 2, 3, 5, and all right. Yeah, I should have done this ahead of time, and I completely forgot. So I apologize. This would be the time to go like get a frosty beverage, come back. Hey, frosty beverage. Actual sound coming out. Spaceship machine. I'm curious. Has anybody watched or started whatever the of Power series? I don't know how good it is, really. It's okay. I think it's mediocre. It's nothing super spectacular. Plot wise, stuff like that. The problem I think comes from myself, at least, that I kind of know the plots in general because I did geek out at one point and like read the Silmarillion and the finished tales and all that stuff that Tolkien did, ancestors or whatever. Hey, we can actually see control panels now. That's a good. And they kind of read like the Bible. Like there's not a lot of dialogue. It's just like talking about what someone did. Yeah, it's not that fun to read. So everybody's like, you're putting characters that don't exist and stuff, but like they don't exist in the first place. See, this is the problem. Not really there. So I think it looks great. That's the thing. The effects in it are like top notch. They're very very good. Okay. Let's wire up a melodizer controlled voice of some sort here into. Yes, you know what though? First, let me check some tuning. Set my mixer. There's always something very very entertaining about the first time that you turn up an effects send. Okay. There you are. Sounds pretty in tune to me, at least for now. So let's just roll with it. Now, okay, so the cool thing, this Weston oscillator, if we put this on hard sync, then essentially what we're doing, we're volt per octaving both of those at the same time. Not exactly, but kind of, sort of. And as a matter of fact, what you could do is throw a really small LFO into this FM input, put it on exponential, it just turn down mount, huge. And then theoretically, in theory, yeah, see, this is why I kind of need a little mixer. It's for stuff like this. So if I take the saw out, the sub out, right? And then like the other saw. So we can have two sawtooth waves. Actually, let's put it on soft sync. Then I should be able to sum all of those into. Is that going to reach? I think it is. Yes, it is. Hooray. It's very, very. Well, that's not working at all now, is it? That seems a little bit weird. Okay. We are sorry. This channel is not for children. Please go away. Thank you. Okay, so here's the key, right? The second input routes the distortion into like the fold, the feedback and stuff there, to the filter. There's also a distortion out. Is that a shitty cable, or is that... Yes. Oh, it's not in all the way. Idiot. Hey, Jason. Okay, so now what if we just changed our effects a little bit? In fact, let's go back to square one. So this is the first reverb. Wish I would have taking notes on which reverbs I put in which places here. And flangers in that bank. And I think I put all the drum sims in the second bank. Standard output. You very quiet, Mr. Standard Output. That's craziness. I like craziness, but That's crazy. See, the advantage here, of course, is then we can throw some stereo in his voice. So about that time of the year, I'm gonna have to start looking and see. I gotta do my John Carpenter movie festival. I always tend to around Halloween. I always watch. Well, The Thing for one. The Thing is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's just it's fantastic. And maybe They Live, although that's less Halloween-y and more just mind fuck. Now, what if we just, how much different would this sound if we just put these two in here? Like, there's the sub. Kind of sounds to me like they're both coming out of the same octave. So, yeah, I don't know if that's actually doing anything. But unfortunately, when when you've got the actual two separate stereo, channels and doesn't like combine them or anything, then you get this like your sub is on one side. It's, I don't know. I don't really like that. sure is quiet. Guess we'll run it through VCA. Psst. A little more like it. Hey, Strawman, what's up? Thinking of getting another dedicated kick drum module. And then I thought you could also just get a second, like a microplats. I am using the data for clock, yeah. And it's going to a buffered mult right here, and then it's spewing to all sorts of different places. So direct clock running to marbles and to... Speaking of which, Crater I am not familiar with. Yeah, I've thought about that, but I do use data for a lot of stuff, like, you know, tuning. Little voltage monitor on there, but honestly, probably not enough to warrant, like, having a big space in my room, but I do like it. Yeah, that was one that I was looking at. Yeah, that would be really nice. And they're talking about putting a sequencer in it. There's a new firmware coming out for the data that's going to have a sequencer. And then, like, the oscillators that are in it, it's going to have more capabilities and stuff. And I was like, I wish you could sequence the inner oscillators with its own sequencer. And then it just becomes like a built-in synth. Yeah, that's the big drawback. Like, you can't use it for any, you get one thing at a time. needs to be quiet because it's getting annoying. Just for a second at least. Okay. Snare. We'll just load up a snare and then hi-hats. Okay, all right, okay. Yeah, definitely the best scope. I mean, I did say that, did notice today, I was just looking on Perfect Circuit. Uh, stuff that I think I would like to add is a small mixer that also acts as an attenuverter. 3 channels would be great. Ability to handle stereo would be a total plus. And I think there's a couple out there. And then a noise generator of some sort, just like a generic noise generator. You have one in the Turing machine. It does have a noise generator in it. But if you notice, the noise changes as it spawns, notes and stuff. So kind of not exactly the same thing, So I've been thinking, hey, having a nice multicolor noise generator dedicated module would be a useful thing. I've thought about the ADAC T networks to supply weird percussion blips and bloops. So yeah, it's kind of like too many options, really. I'm still considering getting a beads in place of clouds also. That's obviously the most expensive option. And then I'm right back to having my tip-top ZDSP not being used in any, because I would put the clouds in my small system. All right, what are we doing here? I don't even friggin' know. One thing I don't have in this system is a dedicated wavetable oscillator. I have one. I just don't like it. It's called the Quadnic. By I forget the company. They make like the Boom Star series modules also. Just like I don't think it's Studio Electronic. Maybe it is. Anyways, yeah, I had that, and that thing was like a quad wavetable, and it just sucked. It sounded good, but getting the four oscillators in tune with each other was like a chore. Like a massive chore every single time. So, of course, I found myself not using it ever, because it was a total pain in the ass. I've still got it someplace. Maybe I should put it back in here just for shits. Bro, you're running too slow. What are you doing? There you go. I don't really like menus that much. It's kind of annoying. Yeah, and it doesn't have to be huge. I'm thinking the pizza. I love the Ikari filter. The pizza would be a great twin for it. And it's small. It's the same size. It's like 8 HP. It's great. Seems like a bargain for what you get, to be honest. And I think I could easily fit, like, put these guys over and then fit, like, a noise source here. Pull the ornament and crime and put a small mixer in its place. And still have room over for, like, some small, fun 4 HP thing. So... No, you know what? Let's use the Aurora. Dedicated weirdness effect. Oh, love the triple sloths. I wish I had room for a second one. Oh man, it's one of my favorites on generative stuff, just like slow modulations. It's fantastic. That's pretty lovely. Ha! It's like a car horn. Nice triple slots. Good triple slots. And again, Ornament and Crime will do those low rents attractors, so similar things to triple slots. I've just never sat down and figured out how to do things with it. So, bad modular die. Yeah, I found that the quantizing was slow, and I hated it. I went from an IntelliGel scales to the Ornament and Crime, and I'm like, okay, there's 4, but for a lot of the stuff that I was looking to do, it just wasn't responding fast. And I don't get that, because they definitely talk about how they respond very, very quickly. But I didn't find it to be the case. That's why I got myself a Bard Quartet. And I love everything about it. It's the greatest quantizer I've ever used. Straight up. it's a quantizer. It's also an arpeggiator, which is awesome. You just give it a trigger, so you can use it for like polyphonic triggered voices. And since it's right next to my Turing machine, I just throw it some triggers from the Turing machine. It's just lovely. And it's best friends with the chainsaw, because, you know, chainsaw. So here, in fact, let me show you. I didn't want to do a long stream tonight. I will say that I was going to cut it off actually pretty soon. But like, okay, so the chainsaw has 3 volt per octave ins, right? So like here, this is a 4. So the Bard Quartet, obviously 4-channel. So this is going to go into volt per octave 1, 2. And 3, right? So then what I've always had a fun time doing, right, is you set up just little triggered inputs coming from the Turing machine. Like, however, back here, let's just do the main one to the main one here, and that way just keep our patch straight. And then I'll put one on, like, I don't know, 5. So, pulse 1, pulse 2, and pulse 5, right? And then they should all be hitting the chainsaw, but right now it's only with, it's only C's or whatever, because I'm not giving it anything in the quantizer. So, what we do is, first of all, we put them all in the same mode together, and then we go into whatchamajigger. We go into arpeggio mode. Okay. So then you we can just give it C, E flat, F, G, B flat. And then we can talk about like how it moves and stuff on this menu. It's not really a menu. It's a push button alternate mode thing. I just need to route the outputs into something here. Find a cable that will work. It will reach. I've already used up all of my purple cables. It's terrible. Can't believe you used your purple cables, you bastard. How did you do it? Okay. So that guy's there. And then frequency? Hello? Hello? Mixer? Because chainsaw. But we can make this, obviously, more octaves range. We can randomize it. Okay, but so the Bard Quartet also has 8 harmony slots. So if I click to the next one, then what I can do is change the chord essentially. No, it's just an arpeggiator. 3 out of the 4 channels are an arpeggiator right now. Channel 1 is doing a standard quantization output from the Turing machine. But 2, 3, and 4 are all linked, and they're just doing like a C minor chord with an extra note. But the fact that you don't need a separate signal, like the quantizer doesn't take a trigger, you just give it voltage. It doesn't need a trigger, which I hated about Ornament and Crime. Because if you're going to trigger it from something, now you have to duplicate that voice to trigger an envelope also. And like, pain in the ass. You know? So if I use 4 channels, then I'm going to need like 4 stackable cables, like just for that. And like, I don't know. Don't like it. Hated it. Plus the slowness. I mean, that was like, that was the worst part. Doesn't sound in tune to me. So then each harmony setting has its own everything. Its own arpeggiator setting, its own, quantizer setting. So you can then voltage control the harmony and just have like everything change keys together. And just like shift all of your chord, everything that you're doing, which is absolutely phenomenal. Like, I feel like you could build like a polyphonic, weird arpeggiator system with like a couple of those, and then just like trigger generators and like clock generators, and like, I don't know, fill it with chainsaws. This seems like a job for a clock envelope, just being a clocked envelope. And then, let's throw, because it's the popple, we're going to throw a Y cable on there. Control both sides. I'm going to have to go through and tune every oscillator in here with the data tomorrow, probably. If I stream tomorrow, I'll have to do that first. I tried to get everything in tune with my subharmonicon on Friday, and trying to get this thing to play in minor scales is a little bit beyond me. And it's really annoying. I guess what I really have to do is just use it in, like, chromatic mode. Like, you can have it quantized to major, and I try to make it major, but then go a third above. So, like, E flat major, and then make chords like that so they would blend with C minor, and it was just a total train wreck. And that led to everything being out of tune, and holy crap. And then I just made noise. That turned out kind of cool. So, I don't know. It was frustrating, I'll tell you that much. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of strive for that. All right, I am out for the night. I think I'm. Well, I don't know. I'll have to see how my brain feels tomorrow. I do like a Monday modular though, so I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Probably tomorrow. And yeah, got to make some decisions here. There's a gaping hole in my rack going, fill me. I may have to wait till like first of the month though. I mean, I don't really have to, but I should. Anyways, see you later. Have a good night. Hey, Chris. Thanks. Nice to see you. Yeah, you new folks, Surrealist. What's going on, man?